In this video, I'll explain how to solve every single one of these WCA puzzles and how I solve them, starting off with the 2x2. The 2x2 is a pretty quick and simple event, so we solve the first layer, just like so, in a few moves, and then we just solve the rest of the cube in a single algorithm. For 3x3 on the other hand, we have to do the cross, so both these pieces over here are misaligned, and let's just put both these other pieces in and then do a D2 to align the cross. And then in C-Fob we do the F to L, which is basically the first two layers at the same time. So I just inserted that one pair over there. I'm gonna start working on this pair and sledge it in like so. And I'm gonna work on this pair in the back over here. I'll connect both the pieces like this, push it away one more time, and then put the right move back up, and then do a fat anti-sledge just like this. Insert it into the front right slot, and then work on the back right slot pair, and then insert it. We get all the yellow onto the top layer with one algorithm, and then finish the rest of the cube in another. For 4x4, we have to solve the white center by making bars, just like this. And then we move on to the yellow center. We make a bar, we go to the next bar. And this edge on the left over here we have to preserve. And then we are done with the yellow center. And then we have to start working on the Yao edges. The Yao edges are just solving the white edges in order, just like this. We find two pieces, match them up, and put them in the right spots. And then from there we just solve the rest of these centers that we did not solve before. There we go, red center done, and the rest of them are done. Then we start working on the last edge that we did not do. And then now we just pair up every other edge on the cube. There you go, cross is done. We just start pairing up every other piece on the cube. So that's a red green pair. We just pair that up with the other piece. We find another piece, we put that in the right slot. So if we just do a slice, they all will be solved just like this. And then from here onwards we just do the 3x3 stage, just like the 3x3. So there you go, pair, and then this is parity, one of the worst cases you can get. And it's a pretty long algorithm too. So this is also PL parity. It's a pretty short one, better than the other one. And there you go, it's solved. But for 5x5, it's basically the same thing, just a bit more thinking and steps. So we have this 2 bar over here and this 2 bar over here. We do a U2 and a splice for the right layer. We have another 2 bar right there, which will make a 2-3 bar right there. And then we are done with the white center with the 3rd bar. And then we do the same thing for the yellow center. We make multiple patterns and bars just to make sure the yellow center is done. There we go, we have the yellow center almost done, now it's done. And then we solve the edges toward the left, just like the 4x4. Start working on the centers, and it's done. And just like the 4x4, we work on the last edge that we did not do during the centers. And there you go, it's solved. We put it in the right spot, just like that. And then just like the 4x4, we find multiple edges and then make sure that they are together with the right edges, just like this. And then from there onwards we just solve the whole cube just like the 3x3. And one thing I do have to mention is that the 5x5 does not have any last layer parity. It only has edge parity, which we did not get to solve, but it isn't that bad. This is the same case for 7x7, But for 6x6 there is OLL parity. I'm not going to do both those cubes in this video, but it is the same case and same method on how to solve. So if you know how to solve a 4x4 or a 5x5, you can pretty much solve a 6x6 or 7x7. But for the pyramids, on the other hand, it's not such a hard cube, so you make sure all the tips of the pyramids are matched, just like this. And the way I will solve it is solve this edge, do another R, solve the other edge, and then do a D, just like this, and then do an L4E algorithm to finish off the whole cube. It's a pretty quick cube. And this is the cube. This cube is not that hard of a cube. I would say it's harder than the pyramids though. So you do a sledge to get those two corners in. Make this step is solving the white side with all the side headlights matching, just like this. And then I do a sledge and a sledge to get the side centers matching, and do two anti-sledges to get the yellow matching, which will solve the whole cube. Square one is a pretty wacky puzzle. Square one, we get the cube shape, so we memorize a few patterns and then do a few algorithms for every pattern you get, and then we match the corners on top. Then we solve the edges in a few algorithms, just like this. And then now we can see that the black and the white are the are on either sides or to their respective sides. Then we do a few more algorithms to finish off the whole cube. This cube does have parity, which we did not get to solve, but this is one of the worst cases you can probably get on square one, and it's a really long algorithm. This is the clock. The clock puzzle is a pretty easy cube, just matching clocks to the right side. So step number one, we have to get the cross. So the middle four clocks should all face 12 o'clock. So we first get these bottom three right here, just like this. We keep matching each one just like that, and then we get this, we match it to the other one, and then put those all to 12 o'clock. As you can see, the middle cross is all facing 12 o'clock, and from now we just solve each of the corners just like this. We put the pin down and then get those all together. There you go, everything's facing to 12 o'clock. Once we solve the first side, we solve the second side with the exact same steps. There we go, we have the cross the middle all facing one side. We do every single corner, make sure all the clocks are facing the same way. We are on the last clock, and there we go, every clock is facing 12 o'clock. And the Megamix is a pretty big puzzle. It's not too hard to solve though. You can solve most of it with 3x3 knowledge. So first you solve the white star, just finding white pieces around and finding the white star. And then just like the 3x3, we make pairs just like this, and then we insert them to solve the first two layers, F2L. There you go, we have the red and blue one. And once that's done, we do S2L, the second two layers. So it's a different color scheme than the normal 3x3 from now on. So you find a piece, you make a bar like this, and then find the next piece, and then just make sure that you have these three pieces in this order. And you would do the same thing for the other centers. I'm doing this sand color right here, and I'll do just like this. All of these are done, and then from here onwards we just do the fill in the blanks just in the middle. Just like this, and then from here we make sure all the grays are on the top, so we get the gray star, and then we do a bunch of patterns just to get all the gray on top. And then from here we just do a few algorithms to get the edges matching. just like this, and there we go, all the edges are matching. And from here we just put each corner in its respective spots. And be sure to check out all these cubes at thecubicle.com. They're running really huge deals right now. And subscribe. Yeah, thank you.